Go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Be Telepathy. Last week, we had a very interesting week, and I have decided that I'm not going to post the video of last week just because it was short. It was a lot, it was pretty intense, but I will recap just a little bit of last week, and then we want to check in with Chrissy and Mason. And if you do want the video up, or you guys think that it's okay, it's a short 20 minutes. We'll see what happens. But last week we had planned for a meeting asking about ants and orbs and telepathy, a bunch of things. Right when I went to go hit record, Mason came on and he said he needed to immediately speak. He was talking about angels that had come for everyone that was in the meeting, came to protect them, came to help them, that they didn't have to worry. We got into a question about religion and curse kind of thing. And I looked into Mason's question, and there we found an entity that we were not expecting to find. It was an entity that has been hurting Mason. If you've listened to previous shows, then you know that he's been going under seizures, and so is his brother, and having a few attacks. So when his mother asked a question and we answered it, I ended up going pretty deep and getting that entity myself, and I wasn't really prepared for it. Now, usually when we go in and we do entity releases, you kind of know what's going to happen, but sometimes it just goes where something happens and you don't know about it. It's spontaneous. I ended up getting kicked off the meeting and by the computer, by technology, or by Mason, or by other people. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but had to leave. Ended up feeling very sick, getting a headache, went outside, lit a fire, did a release, ended up coming back on. Tara took over and held space. They did some telepathy testing and stuff and ended up coming on. Things seem like they cleared by the next day or the day after, even when I checked in with Chrissy. But I did want to check in with Chrissy and Mason and see how their week went. Brenda and Brandon, I love your little tail there. So sometimes things happen and we try to deal with them the best we can, but we want to make sure that everybody's safe and everybody is okay. It was talked about in the meeting. Maybe we should do some kind of protection, prayer or energy before each meeting, which I do feel that there's some valid ways, I believe that it would be okay, but I also want to say that I'm not going to ask specifically for protection. The reason that I'm not going to ask for protection is when we ask for protection very specifically, and we don't have anything that we need to hide, and we don't have anything that we need to be protected for. What ends up happening is we ask for protection, we put this little symbol up, and all of the entities can see that, and they, as well as the angelics and the ancestors that want to come help, all of them will see that. Now, if you're not in trouble, then the ancestors, the angels, they'll go away. And what will happen is the entities will stay and kind of look and wander around you, wondering what it is that you're trying to hide. So, what we are going to do is we are going to work on shielding the group. And shielding just says whatever I have in me that needs to be released, may it be released, and whatever I need come back to me. And may anything that needs to be brought into me from the universe be brought in my own energy and in harmony with my own energy, because shielding then allows for energy to come in and out, and it doesn't put this little symbol above you that says it's protection. So that being said, we're going to ask how the week went with Chrissy and Mason. Then we're going to go into just a little bit of energy work for shielding. All right.
So you wanted me to speak
Yeah,
about,
Chrissy. Yeah. How has it been since
um,
last week?
yeah, so that night, I think just because of everything going on, I had a lot of paranoia that specific night. I think it was more just fear of like what could possibly be around. I didn't know whether or not it was still around. Um, But then I'm having the paranoia. It's the middle of the night, and then Mason came to me and sort of brought me to like my safe space, which is like sort of like in the middle of the woods. Like there's like a bench. It's just a spot that I envision as like a happy place for me. And I just saw him come to me and like hug me, and he was like, "You're okay. You're safe." And I felt better after that. Everything going on with my husband too. I just feel like the house is lighter. Like things in the house have been a little lighter, and it's been a little easier for us all to communicate, which is amazing. Mason was so incredibly happy the day after, and actually, I think it was Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. He was just so alert and happy all day. So I would take that as a sign that things were moving in the right direction and things are better. So, if you can tell me from your end if there's anything that you're seeing that is still hanging on, and hopefully it's not. But then I did want to mention about when you said about the protection. I have been for months now saying this protection prayer before I go to bed. And I just say, please shield me and my family. May God guide or watch over us and protect us. So is that not the right thing to say then? You're muted.
Sorry, when you're saying shielding, that's okay. You just don't need to ask for that protection. And especially if your heart is with Creator and with God, uh, there are things that'll come around you, but they can't necessarily get to you right away. They'll try to come to you if you're asking for protection and you don't need it, just because those entities will start to come through. Now, the reason being is because if we have some fear, we say, protect us. Then what that is that's a little bit of a fear saying that we need to be protected. If we're with it, that divine energy, then it should be coming forth through us. The more that we ask for protection and we don't need it, again, that puts out these little signals and the entities are kind of coming. So I would refrain from saying protect us. I would say shield us, guide us. May your divine energy run through us. May your love run through us, because that in itself is protection, but it's a different sort of protection. And it's not calling attention to yourself. The only time that I've used protection is when I'm doing exorcisms. And
Okay.
that is it. And that's because I actually really need it. So they come real fast and they'll grab them and leave. Other than that, shielding is appropriate. Loving, just being in that divine energy or that divine flow. All of that would be appropriate also.
Okay. And then do you sense like that things are energetically better, like there's nothing hanging around, or is there still something that needs work to be worked?
So Mason said that there's always things coming around, whether or not they get in or not is a matter of energy and mood. As of right now, the thing that was bothering us the most and the thing that was calling in other things is no longer here. That thing had friends. So multiple times throughout the day, if it was not there, it almost had somebody else there watching and guarding and looking after or running after the family. So it would leave post and have other things come in. The revolving door is no longer there anymore. And so that has been shut. A lot of the avenues have been shut. That's not to say that something else can't get in, because I'm very powerful and I'm very much a part of the universe and a person who is not all the way in my body, but is very much in spirit. And that is seen in this world. And so therefore, I'm always going to be watched. They're always going to be looking after me. But as of right now, I feel as though one of the major entities are gone. There are still a few that are around, maybe two. They're small, they're annoying, but I can handle them. And they're not something that can possess me or take me over. The thing that was causing possessions and taking us over and taking over the thoughts in our head, that is gone. So we no longer need to worry about that. I would like to say, Mom, there's nothing to worry about, and there's not going to be any entities. But that's not what I came here on earth to do. I came here on earth to stop these entities, to call them in and to destroy them. And that's part of my mission. So, that being said, they're always going to come around us. But I know that our love and I know that our faith is strong enough that we can always beat them together. And if we can't, I know I have a strong team around me, many that can. And as long as you listen to my voice, as long as you listen to me, when you see me, when you hear me within yourself, we're going to be okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, Sorry, I didn't know if I was on mute or not. So I just wanted to say one more thing because I've been chatting back with Melody all day, and she is, having some struggles right now. I don't think she's on the call. She said that she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to join or not, but she's having some struggles right now, and I think she wanted to somehow get together with you to figure out like if there's some kind of entity attached to her. So I just wanted to, just mention to the group, can we just sort of hold space for her and just send love towards her because, I think she just really needs it right now. And, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And so we'll hold some space for her, and then we'll also hold space for the whole group and just help
yes.
everyone get that extra energy boost and that divine. um oh, hello, Shannon and Ollie are here too, and Erta, hello. Everyone's coming on. So we'll pass some energy off to the whole group. If you want to engage and send out energy, that's okay. If you just want to receive, then just sit back and receive that. What you would feel is hot, colds, tingles. I'll be tapping into the divine energy and just asking that that divine energy just flow through and helps. Owen's Owen says, and then he's going to tap in a little bit too and try to open people up and kind of ride off the waves to open up for telepathy too. So you might be feeling and experiencing a little bit more during this session, but he said to add in a little bit of that telepathic opening too. So, all right, here we go.
Body start to get conditioned to feeling joyful. Can you even imagine?
Just a little bit of that energy fluff for everyone there. So, Brandon and Caleb. I feel Brandon. I want to talk for Caleb, and I know he has a message, but Brandon is actually coming through a little bit more right now, and he wanted to give a message out to everyone. And it seems really quick and really simple, but he says, as the cosmos are aligning in a way that they are, we need to pay attention to ourselves and go further into ourselves, as there's a lot that is aligning right now with the planets that we haven't seen before. And it has not been said yet in the public the exact alignment that I'm talking about. You won't be able to see it specifically in astrology because it's different planetary systems that are aligning with our other planets that are already within our system. And this is causing a lot of pressure on a lot of people. You might have been feeling a headache, a little bit of nausea, weak immune system, especially. There's a lot of the immune system that is coming down because of this pressurization, but it's coming down in the ways of emotion and boredom. A lot of people are going to feel a lot of different emotions coming through, and boredom as of lately. Keep yourself motivated, keep yourself going. Depression, anxiety is going to feel like it's coming in a little bit right now, but know that that's just the emotions that are bubbling up from the surface that you've kept inside for so many years, and it just is coming to the forefront. And as it comes to the forefront, acknowledge them, face them, feel them, act upon them, thank them, and then let them go. Keep yourself very hydrated, especially with lemon water. He's showing something is going to be happening to our body when we drink lemon water right now. So he's showing that that's something it's some kind of activation right now. And he says across the board. So this is with everyone drinking that lemon water. There's something with this planet, which is weird. Okay, thank you, Brandon, because I was just going to say, I haven't heard that planets align with food. And he is saying, absolutely, each planet has all their different food systems, and different food systems align with different zodiacs. They align with different blood systems. They align with even different cultures. And so checking into your diet right now is something that is really going to be very good for you in your self-care, and asking yourself every day, what do I need? What do I want? What do I need? What do I want? Don't go off of anything else but what your soul is wanting and what your soul is needing. And you ask your body truthfully what it wants, not what it's craving, what your body actually wants and needs to function. And this will help you get through a lot of the stuff that is happening right now, is to really align yourself, even with the foods and with the TV shows and with the music. He was saying radio, but then also showing a bunch of different music. So even the music, your diet right now is very important, and your diet is everything that you are hearing, seeing, feeling, eating, tasting, all of it. So make sure that whatever you are doing, you are keeping that in alignment with you, so that you don't get overstimulated and overwhelmed when you go outside of your house. And he's pointing to me too right now, saying, Melissa. So he's showing that there's this huge shift right now that's coming in. It's pushing truth, it's pushing emotions through. So truth and emotions are really going to come through, but they're going to come through the most through the head. And this is causing physical changes in the brain, and also within the stomach, that solar plexus. And so just be careful about that, the third eye, the mind, the physical mind too, keeping that physical mind straight and keeping your research going, and not trying to placate to anything that is happening around you that is not in alignment with you, because that, he's saying, that dirties your diet. And he's saying, like, diet in the way of everything that we experience, not just eating. So pay attention to that, because right now, especially up until March, we're going to have a huge pressurization because of this planet, and it's really going to really push out those emotions in us, and it's going to be changing the brain neurons within our brain. So if we can't keep our emotions under control, then there's going to be different neurological pathways that will be growing in some people's head, that will keep it, that won't allow them to stay as focused as usual. So there's more, Brandon. He's going deep. Okay. Okay, so do you guys know, sorry, I'm just going to pull a picture because I don't think everyone will know. He wants me to show you about these dendrites. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so there's these little dendrites that are in the brain, and you guys see how they have all of these little branches and whatnot as they're all these tiny little branches. Cool. Okay, so he wants me to explain this. So when we are healthy in our brain and we are healthy, we're grounded within the time. I mean, we could have things that are going around us, sadness, anger, that kind of thing. But if we cannot keep it in control in our body, then what ends up happening is those little branches on the dendrites ends up growing and growing and growing. So with anger, with sadness, with confusion, anything like that, the branches end up branching out even more. So as you guys saw, there was all these little branches, but little branches will grow on top of those branches, or those will extend. And all of that energy then will need to be fed. So the more that we stay angry, the more we stay sad, the more we stay in our per se negative energy, the branches of the dendrites are actually growing. And as they grow, we are not getting the proper hormones to our body because they are not okay, here we go. So like, let's say that the dendrites were lined up like this, and now all of a sudden we have more of the growth happening. It spreads them out. And now instead of that energy shooting out from here, and let's say this is happiness, it goes pew, instead of it hitting happiness here. So serotonin. So let's say that there's serotonin that is released and then it's picked up and received here, and let's melatonin and whatnot, and they receive. Well, if it branches out and it starts to get more branches, then it's going to not be able to hook up right. So you have happiness and boo, the serotonin goes and it's a miss. So that if we cannot contain our emotions or keep our emotions at least in somewhat control, then it actually starts to affect the brain, and the brain grows differently. And he's saying that that's what this planetary system is doing right now, is putting pressure on people so our brains grow different. And it's a hijack right now that is happening to take away some of the power of a consciousness that we are having. And so keeping yourself in check and alignment so that our brain and our dendrites are healthy and pulsating and giving and receiving the way that they need to. We need to make sure that we really check into ourselves. We really check into our bodies. We really try to maintain at least homeostasis or harmony within ourselves. It's okay to be really excited, and then really sad, but make sure that you give yourself that space and keep that energy in check. There we go. Okay, now his head's up, so that must mean okay. We good, Brandon? Yeah. He's like, okay, I spoke. Now what are we gonna do? I'm done. He's ready to leave now. You can get up and leave, Brandon. That's okay. You don't need to stay. If you want to, you can. We love you here. Do you guys have a TV show or something, Brenda, that you are usually watching tonight? No? Okay. All right, Caleb, I see you. I know you were really listening to that, and I know that that's something you were kind of talking about too, huh? Do you want to wait for your mom? Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay. You can unmute if you guys want.
Hi.
Okay. So Caleb says that's something that I was actually going to speak about, as I know the emotions right now are really going to be hitting a lot of people. We are going to see a huge, he said, filterization and unveiling at the same time. So he's showing so many of the truths are going to be told, they're going to be seen, and the truths are going to make people internally fight themselves, because the things that they thought were real are not real, and the things they thought were fake are fake, and the things that they have done maybe are worse than they thought. And so people are starting to think and about themselves in ways that they haven't seen themselves. They're questioning themselves more. They're questioning if they're doing the right mission, if they're on the right path. They aren't having as much motivation. They feel like they're lazy, but it's the nervous system is shutting down right now. Prepare yourself and watch your nervous system. Whatever that means for you, I want you to know right now that the nervous system is under attack for many of us. This means hormonal imbalance, which is why we have so many people that are having these emotional problems, because we are having a hormonal imbalance that is being caused by the different frequencies and the different energies and the different codings that is coming in right now. Make sure that you give yourself enough time away from everything. And he says, everything. Make sure that you're quieting yourself down, that you have time to speak to yourself in a quiet area with no TV, with no radio, with no other sound. People are having issues with their independence right now, and they are not okay with themselves. Now is the time that you train yourself to be okay with yourself, to sit with yourself in the silence, to allow your thoughts to come and be your thoughts, and to think those thoughts through in a way that are going to be helping you. 2026 is going to be a big year, huge year for truth coming out. Huge. He's showing a rise in violence or aggression that is happening because people have been lied to. They have been tricked and manipulated not to see the truth. But this year they're going to see the truth, and that's going to come back. And know that whatever has happened to you and whatever they have said does not deserve revenge. It does not need any resentment. For you had the proper tools and you had the energy that you could have learned it yourself. You chose to just believe what other people thought because it was easier. And now is not the time for life to be easy. Now is the time to gain your independence within yourself, to know where you stand. And when you do that, and you know where you are and you know where you stand, then you're going to be more beneficial to the rest of the world. But 2000, I love that. He just blew some energy out. He says, release that energy. When things get ungrounded, and he is saying ungrounded, like science is going to be ungrounding new things. So this is new artifacts. And he said the artifacts should have never come up under the ground. So when you hear the artifacts coming up and these new things that they have found this year, then pray every time that you hear them, because those things are not permitted in our timeline, but they're going to be brought in our timeline, and they're going to change the energy. It's going to cause confusion. So make sure that you're checking every moment of every day and what is your reality and what is real for you. Although there's going to be a lot of emotions, there's going to be a lot more aggression and regret this year, though he's saying that those are the three biggest words that are going to be this year. He said we also are going to see the flip side of faith, hope, and community rising. As the truths come out, people are going to start seeing what needs to be done in this world, and community is going to be coming together. They're also going to be given miracles after miracles. More miracles will happen in 2026 than any other year. And because of that, faith will be restored and set up for 2027 when we bring in the holy energy. This year is the year of purging everything so that we can bring the holiest of the holies. We are going to have bigger energies, bigger gods, bigger spirits, bigger angels, more communication. So if you're available and you're ready and you have love in your heart, please receive that information and tell it to people. Speaking your message is one of the most important things to say. So if you hear it, you acknowledge it, you see it, please speak it, because many are feeling it, they are seeing it, they are hearing it, they are noticing it, but they are being quiet. They are the enemy too. if you are sitting with energy that can change the world, and knowledge that can change the world, or even one person in the world, then you are the enemy if you're not giving that out, because you are the ones that could heal and you're not the ones saying anything. So you're holding them back from that moving step forward. Remember, I call you all my little heroes, and you are all little heroes. All you have to do is put on a cape, be kind to people, and be really aware of your surroundings and what's going on. If you do that, you will pass 2007 and you will move on to the Holy Grail of 2027, where we will see great community. If not, then we will see more destruction within our world. But I have faith that everyone in this group and everyone listening to this message will choose correctly and will choose themselves and will choose to be gracious in the gratitude and in their compassion with others. Thank you, Caleb.
Thanks, Caleb.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that really was. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. I'm going to read some of these comments down or in the chat here. I saw some of these. Oh, Zan had orbs on her screen. Awesome. Yay. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to have a very interesting 2026. And Brandon is he's really saying that there are so many that are that are rooting for us right now in the cosmos, but so many that are also going against us. How's Ollie doing over there? I hear her popping in. I'm gonna hop right over to you.
Yeah, she's going off over here. She's saying all kinds of stuff.
What is she saying over
I
there?
don't know. She's all woo. She's just woohooing everything. I think it's all in agreement.
So she's gonna piggyback off of them, if that's okay. Is she saying, well, yes, there is going to be a lot, but one thing that wasn't really talked about that I want to talk about is God. And my mom doesn't know my faith, how big my faith in God actually is, and how much I really want people to understand it, to feel it, to know it, and to know that it's always around you, no matter what. And even when you think that it's not, in fact, if you think that it's not around you, if you think that God is not with you, then that is the time when God is with you more. In the times when you are in your despair, and the times when you're in your darkness, and the times when it seems like nothing else there, that is the only thing helping you live, breathe, and move on. It is God that is helping push forward. And not only that, but the angels. My mom sees the angels. She doesn't admit it a lot, but she does. She sees the little sparkles around us all the time, and she has the ringing in her ears. I really wish that she would be able to see the angels as I did, as many of you do have angels around you. And I do want to let you know that they are your friends. And although some of them can be a little bit deceivious, if you remind them who they are, they will all change into the goodness of the heart. And there are many that are going to be here this year that are going to be helping us. So the more that you hear the ringing in the ears, and then when you see the sparkles that are around, please say hi to my friends. Many of us want to come and telepathically talk to you, and we have. As a matter of fact, many of us in the group have already been reaching out to many people in the middle of the night. And I wanted to just say that that many of us are reaching out to you and trying to get your attention in the middle of the night. So if you're having any dreams about us, if you're having any information about us, or you feel like we just came to say hi, could you please write us and say, oh, hi, I saw that Ollie was in my sleep. Is it Ollie or Oli?
Oli.
Oli. Okay. I was saying Ollie and then she says Oli. So
Yeah.
sorry, I had to sorry about that. I didn't mean to, but Oli said that many of them have been visiting you all, and you see them, but you've been holding back, or just, oh, I think Owen was there, but you haven't said anything. And she says, we love the affirmation as much as you do. So please reach out to us and say, hey, I think that my friend was visiting me, and just let's see if there's an affirmation, because 10 times out of she says 10, I think I'm reading that right. Okay, hang on. It was backwards, 10 times out of 8, but it was 8 times out of 10. It is us, and it is just the doubt within yourself that is shutting us down and saying that that you did not see us, but please reach out as we are building a much bigger community and centers within our hearts. Can we talk about that? I really want to talk about that. Nobody's talked about that yet. So many people are concerned about building centers around the world, centers where we can come together, centers that we can meet at and we can come into community with. But you know what we can start doing? Many of us can't travel. Many of us can't leave. Many of us can't even get outside. And so therefore, we have to start building systems a little bit differently. And I would like to offer a system of centers of the heart. Can we start building centers within our heart that people can start showing up to? I have built many, and I'm waiting for many of you to come in, as there is many safe paths and rooms where I am ready to nourish you and take care of you in all of the ways that is needed. And I have been held back within myself, within my mind, within my body for so many years, but I really came to be a matriarch of this world, and I really want to take care of as many people as I can possibly take care of. And so I really want to start encouraging and do even a campaign of build a community within the heart, build the community center within the heart, because we can all come there. We can come teleport. We can feel that. We can acknowledge that, and we can go to different places without having to physically be somewhere else. We can put out a little memo within our spirits to say, hey, come here 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and we're all just going to hold space within our heart. Our team has already been acknowledging that and preparing for that, as many of them have been working on that heart math center, and they have already been working on getting that heart and that head together so that we can have a place where we can start to meet up. We should start doing this once a month. We should not have a community that is going to be meeting on Zoom, but instead I would like to have a meeting where we all meet up, we stay in our home, and we meditate, and we talk about later in a different meeting what we felt while we are physically talking on Prime or Zoom. I don't know where Prime came from. I don't know if Prime has services. Sorry, Ollie. But we would be able to meet in person, and we can all talk about it so that we can validate what we are feeling. So yeah, that's really cool. She was showing like all these little spaces within the hearts, but each of us, kind of like the app that we're going to have, all hearts, we think about each other and we hold space for the Let's Be group and just see who comes and shows up within ourselves.
All right, dog fight.
That's okay. That's pretty
No.
powerful. I've never, because we've never thought about that, right? We always think about building the communities around, but I know Zan and Patrick and Tara and all of them have been working with that heart math. So that can lean right. And I know you have Scott too, and anyone else. Sorry if I left you out, but
Anne Marie's work with what we're doing is going to really couple into actually creating this final goal of where we can have these heart centers. Yeah. And everyone that's involved, but I feel like that's like an end goal, but right now, yeah, it's a great goal. It's a great goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could start that up next week,
Yeah.
Tuesday meeting 6 o'clock in your home, just meditate and try to connect with that heart brain and with the rest of the group and see what really happens.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. You guys all want to try? Who wants to try it? I'm game. Okay, good. Cool. Okay. Awesome. That is neat. I like that. What do you think, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm speechless. Honestly, the whole faith God thing.
Yeah. She really
Like just
believes. She says she has enough faith for both of you, and that sometimes you feel bad because you feel like she doesn't know God and you don't know God enough, or you're not bringing it. And she says, don't worry, I have enough faith for both of us. I know that God exists, so don't ever worry about me. I worry about you and your faith.
That's 100% true. And she's told me that so many times. And the ringing in my ears, that's crazy because I get that so many times, like so many times. And so many times she's told me stop worrying about me, Mom. I'm fine. Like, I'm going to be fine. And like the meeting in the heart, it just lines up perfectly with what, I did with Patrick and Zan and, the heart math. And
Oh, you
yeah,
guys were a part of that too.
yeah,
So, okay, I didn't know that.
yeah,
Nailed it, Melissa.
yeah, yeah. We've been sitting together and we do it together. We kind of meditate and do the heart math together and we sync up. And yeah, we've had some really cool interactions and yeah, it, it's just kind of blows my mind how exact it all is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And to hear her words so clearly,
yeah.
it's, yeah, I'm speechless. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for your faith and your trust in that. All right. Scott, I feel like you have something. What you got? How was your week? What you got hiding over there? I'm looking at your energy and you're like,
Well, I've been patiently waiting to raise my hand.
oh no, you're cutting out.
Talk to everybody first. Said early.
There,
Hang on. Hold on.
there we go.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me stop my video so you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to kill my video so that you can hear me.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes. So first I'm obligated to share. Oh, can you still hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm obligated to share what happened in this morning's meditation regarding all those beautiful people, the autists. So I would encourage everybody to watch the movie The Adjustment Bureau. We've renamed it the Adjustment Team because the Bureau gives such a bad connotation, and the original book that this movie came from was called originally The Adjustment Team. So we have a team of people, and I met mine this morning, dozens and dozens and dozens. Part of them were the autists, part of them were ancestors, part of them were guardian angels, but I met them during the morning meditation this morning. And the amazing, amongst a bunch of things I was shown about this, is that there's a character called the Hammer in the book and the movie. And the Hammer is the guardian angel who, when nobody else can seem to make the adjustment that's needed, he comes down and gets stuff done. So what's happened is that the autists are mini hammers. Think of little ball peen hammers. There came a point where Earth needed a bigger adjustment, and so we have the gift of the mini hammers that we've been blessed with, that are part of the adjustment team, that are working with the guardian angels and Source to help make this adjustment that's taking place right now. And it was just a beautiful thing to share. And then I'll also share that, yes, we are diligently working on getting heart-centered meditation groups together. I have already been remotely traveling during mine because it's one of my gifts, and I've already been with the autists, and Owen's there every time. But Owen has been bringing some of his friends, and unfortunately, I haven't got the names of all of them, but they have been joining in some of the things that we're doing and learning during these meditations. Point being is, yes, once we get heart centered, we will all be able to communicate better, and those who can't travel physically will be able to travel remotely, and we will come to them too. I mean, we already demonstrated it over and over, and that's part of what we're going to be presenting in Austin here shortly. but I wanted to share that hope that's coming. And then last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to hand the microphone back over, is the tinnitus. It probably, Melissa, may have been you who mentioned about tinnitus was spirits trying to communicate with you. I never thought of that. Well, this happened recently, and now it's happening more than once in that I get tinnitus in both ears, but in the left ear, it's solid steady. But in the right ear, I'm actually hearing talking. The tinnitus is modulated as a voice. And so I started paying attention to it. And here you talk about wanting to have confirmations to the autist. One of them I heard Owen and water. So I immediately wrote Tara. I said, I just heard of one of the voices, and I don't know who it was, say something about Owen and water. And she confirmed that he was playing in water at that time. And so that was a tinnitus thing that was actually pretty amazing. But I urge everybody to be patient. What we're trying to do as a team, and I see Tara is responding to some of the people, we're not trying to exclude anybody. I promise you. What we're trying to do is make all the mistakes first so that you don't have to fumble through, pardon my French, the stupid shit that we've done, that you'll hit the ground, or I should say, hit the ethereal net running once we get this down pat. And that's what we're trying to do. So be patient. Probably very, very soon we're going to be ready for more people to join us. But I promise you the world is changing with what we're getting ready to do. I'll let Tara add anything she wants to this. I'm gonna mute now. So
Oh, well, I just wrote the same thing in the chat. Basically, that just Pat, Scott, Owen, and I are testing the waters and Scott's doing our like plotting graphs and figuring out like things that actually the heart math people have, they've been using it for another purpose. It's a very good health benefit, and there are these challenges that people do where they're doing it more. I find they're doing it more for health. They are getting heart coherent, but they're not working as much on the group coherence, and that's something that's kind of the priority for us, and that's what we're going to be doing, just focusing on the group coherence.
I like it. Brandon was laughing because he said a lot of us have such high blood pressure or high heart rates because of the amount of energy that we're secreting through our bodies. He says, how is that working with Owen?
Oh my God.
Because he's just kind of laughing at himself, being like, sometimes our energy just goes, and
he's 100% right. And we've been measuring that. Yeah.
Wait until you see the graph. I just sent it to the team today. When you look at Owen's heart rate while he's asleep, it is like looking at a San Francisco seismograph with a magnitude 10 Richter earthquake. That is the only way to describe it. And what I'm finding is that the people that are near Owen get these spikes too. Tara, I haven't shared this with you, but when I was sitting next to him in the dentist office and meditated, I got those spikes, and you get those spikes. So his energy spills over. Of course, we know that the heart energy is at least 3 feet. I think ours are bigger because we're more heart centered and stronger. But yeah, Brandon, you're hilarious and spot on. Absolutely. In fact, if we could get your HRV measurements, we would love to include that because we want other autists to contribute. But Tara knows the community better than I, so I'm leaving that up to her to arrange. So, yeah. Do I have a way to share screen? I could actually share that plot right now. If
you
I
can.
Okay.
You probably have to make him something.
Yeah, he just has to ask.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I think
so let me go over here. Yeah, I can go to share.
Yep, do share.
It says only the host.
I see your hand up. I am going to come to you. Yep, so hit share, and then it'll say pop up at some point that you want it. I'll give you permission.
And let me go find it because I just sent it. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so I've got it on my screen. So now let me see if I can share screen. Hang on. Try it. See, I'm doing this on a phone, which makes it 10 times more painful.
Mason's excited. You guys
Share.
got to get him on that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Mason's
So
like,
I
what
still
about me?
have a thing that says only the host can share in this meeting. Who is the host? Tara?
No, I should be. Is it not showing? Did you already hit share?
I did, and it said only the host can share.
Okay.
And it still says that.
There we go.
That's me, but I can share it too. For some reason, it's allowing me. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have
it's allowing Tara.
All right. Well, I can get
Okay,
that.
Tara. Yeah,
So,
do you want to share the fixed plot that I just sent?
yes. I'm just gonna look it up
Oh.
here.
Brandon, get ready to get blown away, and everybody.
Oh, he was just laughing. He was like, "Yeah, have fun. Coming with our heartbeats. There's nothing predictable about us." And he's like, "It depends on where we are with our cosmic placement. If I'm in one dimension and I'm here, my heartbeat's going to be different than if I'm just here. And if I'm out with the cosmos and with my friends, it's going to be a lot different." So,
Yeah.
oh wow, what are we looking at?
So the top plot is my heart rate variability while I was asleep. The bottom one is the seismograph Owen's heartbeat variability. Yeah, I'm telling
you were not joking.
Nope, Brandon was not wrong or joking. Now, this was while Owen was asleep, and he's traveling during that. We have some with Owen awake, and there are still dropouts, just not all the way across. And I think what we did was we captured Owen leaving his body and coming back during those drops, is what I think. Now, that's all theory, but yeah. And this is the third one we've captured for Owen. This is not like the first one we got. I wasn't sure I believed it right away. But then Tara got so lucky and caught Owen sound asleep and got 10 full minutes of this data. And now I know it's real because we've gotten it again since several times. So.
I'm like, is that something to worry about? Brandon's like, no, we'll all have heartbeats like that.
Oh.
No, this is a good thing. This means he has a very huge heart rate variability. And what that means is he is deep in his parasympathetic nervous system, or in other words, he's not attached to his body. He's not in his sympathetic fight or flight. He's not in his left brain. He is completely right brain while he's asleep, which most of us are.
Well,
anyway.
You have to be left and right brain. There's no, I just have to interject on that.
No, I know he is. I'm saying is while he's asleep, this demonstrates he's predominantly all right brain. There's like very, very little left brain.
How is that showing up then? Or how are you seeing that?
The huge variability. So HRV means the variability in your heart rate, and that defines what nervous system is dominant at the time. So you see mine is almost flat at his scale.
Yeah.
And that's because as you fall asleep, your sympathetic nervous system is in control.
Yeah.
Once you go into deeper sleep, then you'll start to get variability. You can see a little hump to the far right on mine, where mine is all parasympathetic. I mean, he is just all in his peaceful Zen self while he's asleep, and a lot of times while he's.
Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
So
how are you knowing?
No, so the depth. Because the height of each one of those dips defines the variability in milliseconds between each heartbeat. And because it varies so big, that means that his HRV is extremely high, which means the higher your HRV, the more the scale is tipped to the parasympathetic nervous system. The lower your variability means you're in your sympathetic nervous system because your body has to control your heart rate, so it locks it into a fixed gap between each beat. And so the huge variability you see, the seismograph variability shows that he has a huge HRV while asleep. which means predominantly parasympathetic nervous system. That's what HRV tells you in a single number, is which system is in control.
Right.
If that makes sense. We can have a whole nother discussion on this at some point. I don't want to take up your whole meeting, but Brandon, you're absolutely right that you autists have special heart rates.
I was just okay. I was just stuck on the left and right thing. Just my science
Oh,
brain is like
okay.
left and right
Yes.
isn't a real thing. That is
No, no,
something
no.
that was made up by psychologists, not
Yeah.
anybody in the physical science world. And then when you were saying the parasystem pathic.
Yeah, parasympathetic
was-
is predominantly considered right brain, and sympathetic is considered left brain, but it's just considered. Whether that's true science, you're exactly right. This stuff is relative. It depends on who you're related to.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. We're finding stuff, again, like Tara said, God bless the Heart Math Institute. We do in no way want to discredit or disparage anything they're doing, but they seem to have a different purpose with their app. And so what we're finding is when we connect as a group, in other words, when literally Owen, Tara, Patrick, and I are together, literally, remotely in spirit form, we are actually together. What happens is we go out of heart coherence by their app measurement, and it looks bad on their app because they're tossing out. We have a completely different energy signature when we've gone group coherent. Not only that, Owen has demonstrated a third coherence, which I call coherence with the universe. There is a completely different energy spectrum when he is connected to the universe and not any one of us. That's another thing we're going to be showing that is off the charts crazy. But this is the stuff that the Heart Math Institute thinks is noise or whatever, doesn't look at it, doesn't consider it individual coherence. And so we're going to have a new app, is what we essentially are going to have a different app that looks at it differently for the spiritual purposes of it. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'll mute again.
Okay, you're okay. You're
I
all
could
right.
go on forever on this.
No, you're all right. It's what we're talking about today, right? And building these centers and getting all that information.
Yes.
The para is more predominantly left, but it is in all of the different systems. I just had to check it out because my brain cannot get past things if it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just a weirdo that way, that like I just need to know and see what it is. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm aware of 3 nervous systems. One is the sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight. That's the one you don't want. That's your stress. You got adrenaline, cortisol, all that stuff in your body, and where your brain says, I can't let the heart vary. I have to be in complete control of everything. So your HRV drops to nothing or low, very low. That either indicates you're stressed, you're sick, you're injured, any one of those above. You don't want a low HRV. When you're in your parasympathetic, that is, everything's peaceful, easy. When you're much more in your spiritual side of things and heart centered and not so much stuck in your dense physical existence, that's your parasympathetic nervous system. And the only other one that I know is the automatic nervous system, which is when you fall asleep, your automatic nervous system is the equivalent of a thermostat that picks either hot or cold. So either sympathetic or parasympathetic. So when you are unconscious or fall asleep, your automatic nervous system says, I'm going to control your heart based on what I sense. For me, when I first fell asleep, it was my sympathetic, and I was flatlined on my HRV. It was very, very low because my automatic nervous system said, I need control of your heart while you're unconscious. Later in that 20-minute session, it starts to loosen up, and I start to get some HRV because I start dreaming. I start getting more relaxed, and then my automatic nervous system says, all right, I can let go a little bit. Now let's let your heart vary some. So those are the three nervous systems that I'm aware of. There may be more, but that's a little medical education right there.
Thank you, Scott, for sharing. Yeah. I mean, that sounds really cool. Definitely, you know, once you guys get it all going, let us all know, because it seems like a lot of people in this group want to be a part of that and want to get in on that. And I know everyone in this group just likes being part of the group and likes to connect too. And it's great energy, great vibes here. So
I cannot begin to wait until we get everybody in. We have several times false started and almost said, let's start bringing people in. And then we're like, and then we make a big mistake on some. We're like, crap, we're not ready yet, you know? So believe me, we are absolutely can't wait. Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing, guys. Carmen, you are up next. Sorry for
Well, I am distracted going down this HRV rabbit hole, looking on Google and trying to figure out what he's talking about. So anyway, back to now to I have two questions. So a group of us got together in my remote viewing class that I met with this summer. We got together for the State of the World, and that was a online webinar. And Tara and Owen was there, and we went orb watching for 3 nights out in the freezing cold on the beach in North Carolina. So my two questions are, because Chris and Owen had we had a get together at the house one night, and Chris Bledsoe and Owen had a little telepathic conversation going on, and inquiring minds want to know what they were talking about, if he wants to tell us. And then two, Melissa, I know you tried to contact Chris Bledsoe, but I don't think he responded. So can Owen introduce you telepathically to Chris Bledsoe? Those are my two questions.
I know he's already talked about me to him, because Owen specifically wants us working together for the State of the Orbs, because he says that we would be able to get together and really open up that energy and show more colors with our energy together and bigger orbs. So I know that, and Owen wants to be there too. So he is like me, you, and Chris. So I know that he has already put that energy out there and already put the feelers out there, is hoping that it's going to work someday. And he says it just comes down to Chris just being in his own energy, and he's just busy right now, and he doesn't want to take on a lot more projects. So when the timing is right, it will all come together. But I know that he has already talked about me. I know he's already said stuff. He tried to talk a few times when they were together. So we'll see how that works. It's just a matter of Chris wanting, you know, does he want to reach out? Does he want to do something different? But I know Owen's already tried that. As far as the conversation goes, Owen says, we were just talking about life in general and trying to appreciate what is happening. There was a lot of gratitude for us being in the same room together, us being in the life together, and us even being able to work together. So as we were talking, a lot of it was, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in my presence. This is really amazing. Our energy together really invokes an electromagnetic energy that really pulsates throughout the universe and calls things on. I appreciate the fact that he is such a well, I'm just going to say the words that he's saying, because I'm asking him if there's any other words. So he's staying with this, but he says he appreciates the fact that he is such an advanced technology, that he doesn't see him. He says, I don't see him necessarily as a person. I see him as a finely designed system that is able to simultaneously tap into multiple dimensions and multiple universes all at the same time, while still interacting with all of them and not disconnecting. There are time lapses within his brain and within his reality here, but he doesn't lose the information. He seems to hold the information and bring it back here, as he might lose 5 or 10 minutes here. He might be somewhere else for about 5 hours. But I love the fact that he is like a machine, and whenever he decides, he just has to wind up and then let loose the tone, and all of the information and the energy comes towards him. I haven't seen a lot of people that work like that. And then he says Melissa works that way. He says Scott works that way too. But very few other people are working in a way where they can actually tap in to anything that they want. Now he's saying anything, but he is also pointing very specifically, like he's showing the wind for me. He is showing just the dream world for Scott. So anything meaning what you personally want to, but he is saying whenever Melissa calls on the wind will come. Whenever Scott calls on the dreams will come. Whenever Mom calls on me, I will come. And Scott, whenever he calls on the ancients and the outsiders, they will come. And so he's showing that different people have different coding systems where their body works more like a machine to call on what they need versus just a regular person just saying, please come to me. So he's showing that there's more. To me, I'm seeing more coding, but he's calling it technology. So take that however you want. But he's saying that he loves his technology, and his technology is more alien than anybody that he's seen. So like he's like, Melissa doesn't compare to that technology, and Scott doesn't compare to that technology. Only Chris is that way, and he functions very differently than others.
Right, that's amazing. And I think everything that the other people were saying earlier about the big changes coming in 2026 really align with what Chris is saying too. So, yeah, starting at the spring equinox. But
Do you want to share that with us, what he's saying?
yeah, so his main thing is that he has had, yes, he had an alien abduction, but he doesn't think they're aliens. He has had Marian apparitions and the divine feminine, where he's seen every Easter, she comes to him and gives him like a download of information. This has been happening for like 19 years. And so the lady, that's what he calls her, is going to, has told him that during the spring equinox, between the spring and fall equinox, there's going to be a new knowledge for everybody. So this is when either, like, apocalypse means a new knowledge. It doesn't mean the end of the world. It means a new knowledge and a new information. And so that's when a large part of this is supposed to happen, starting on the spring equinox and maybe going until the fall equinox of next year, which kind of lines up with the 2027 that they were talking about earlier. But yeah, big changes this year. Some people say even disclosure, like alien disclosure, but he thinks it's all spiritual. He doesn't really necessarily say they're from other planets. He says he thinks they're spiritual, but he also says he doesn't know for sure. But he's very connected to the divine feminine in communication. So that's all I have.
Okay,
Maybe
so
Tara has more.
yeah, I was just listening to Owen, because Owen says, well, that's what Owen says. That's one thing that he was trying to talk to him about, is that anything outside of this world would be considered extraterrestrial. So even angelics or ancestors that are no longer living, to some degree, they are extraterrestrial because they're not in this planetary, like they're not a living system on Earth. Even if they had been, their living system is outside of Earth. So
Yeah, the whole community hasn't got their terms down really well.
Yeah.
They've been talking with interdimensional as opposed to saying they're not creatures from another planet. He's saying they are interdimensional. And then I just put spiritual on that because that's my limited knowledge and understanding of what interdimensional is. So I think that's sort of his things. They aren't from Mars. You know what I mean?
oh no, they're not from Mars. But also I am seeing that they're not all from Earth either, or they're not, just like planet or things that are in Earth. He gets visited by things outside of Earth,
Yeah.
that hasn't necessarily lived a life on Earth or isn't in a dimension in Earth. So that's what I was kind of listening to as I was, and that's where, oh, so that's what I was listening to as Owen was talking, and he said that that's where the problem lies within Chris and I, is that Chris is very stuck on this is what it is, and it is things within this, and he says he says he knows what it is, but Owen's saying, but he doesn't, and he admits that he doesn't know what it is, but he says this is what it is, but I don't know it. And so that's one of the thing, Owen says that's what really turned him off, is the fact that we were talking about that he visits things, or things visit him that are from outside of this world, and he doesn't necessarily want to believe that, or want to believe it's angels. And so that would go against what he was thinking. So that's why I was listening into that, just saying, okay, well, what are we talking about here? Because I wanted to see if Chris and him talked about any of the extraterrestrial stuff, but it seems like the extraterrestrial stuff is stuff that's here.
Did he talk about the divine feminine with
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they talked about a lot, and they even talked about, Owen said he even tried to talk about the divine masculine that was coming through, but right now that's not somebody that he wanted to listen to right now. And he said, but he has listened to the divine masculine. He has felt it. He has listened to it, but he also doesn't want to. He said he doesn't want to match his energy with anything that he doesn't feel comfortable with, and so therefore he likes to stay with very specific energies.
He does talk about the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, which he says is the Mother, the Father, and the Child, right? And the Holy Spirit being the divine feminine. But again, I don't think he's dead set on it, or at least not publicly. He's saying he doesn't know for sure. He just knows what he feels, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, and as I said, I mean, he is working with that divine masculine. It's just he chooses to channel from the divine feminine.
Oh, I see.
He's not channeling a lot from the divine masculine. Have you heard him channel from the divine masculine?
No, he never really speaks about it, but when he does pray, he says he prays, to our Father, and he prays to the Holy Spirit, or the Lady, or the Holy Mother, and then even Christ too, because I think people were confused. I'll listen to him like, are we just supposed to be praised to the divine feminine or both? He's like, no, all three.
Yeah.
All three are important. The Trinity is important because that's a symbol of creation, the triangle and the Trinity.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. You were just like, I'm going, does he channel? Because no one wasn't saying he channels the divine feminine or the divine masculine. He channels just the divine feminine energy. So I was just wanted to get clarification on that. That makes sense. So, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just really quick say,
Yeah.
I don't like this camera that it goes wherever it wants, but hi, I'm over here. So something that was interesting was that we did get to physically see this green orb that some people have seen online that has like a code on it. And I asked Melissa, and Owen said that the orb said was the energy of the orb was open, was saying open. And from what I've been feeling into, it was more about the openness of like the humans being able to basically see and feel and like connect with celestial beings in this 2026. And I was wondering if we could just elaborate like a little bit on that, or if you want to add anything about that.
Oh,
Or
100%.
or him or someone.
Yeah. So, and I think he maybe posted it because somebody had mentioned it in our chat. But during that meeting, there was a very amazing green orb, and it was an orb. It was not a reflection, that was there, and it looked like it had these digits in it and numbers in it, like 06035, kind of numbers, and it looked like there were different numbers over that. When I saw it too, it did look like that to me. It looked like 06035, to me. And Tara had asked, well, it looks like a D door over on the other side.
I know. I got, so I,
It's
my
like
first,
DE now.
yeah, sorry to talk, but my first impression before I even like read it, just my brain said decoded. Even though those letters are not on there, but that's just what popped into my brain when I first saw that, even though that's not exactly the letters on there. So,
Right. He does look like Oreo. So
oh,
Owen,
yeah.
because Owen was asked what numbers are that, and so he gave Tara some numbers. But when I asked what is, I said, Owen, what does it say? He said it says open. He says it says open. You're like, oh, it, and it's sent out so that people can open up their mind, open up their hearts, open up the reality to the fact that there are other beings that are here that are ready to be received by them and that are ready to share this atmosphere with them. They're here, they are kind, they are nice, they're friends. And this particular one, it came just wanting to open anyone up that had seen it, that wanted to show the magic. Well, as many different people are going to be feeling something different when they see this. It really wanted to, and he's saying like it wanted to open up people's consciousness, open up their awareness, open them up in many different capacities. And he was saying that he says it says open. It wasn't any word, it wasn't any numbers, but when people were asking me what numbers needed to be said, then I was putting down numbers. But it is there, and it, he's telling me that it says open. So, and it was like open as in there's many downloads, and the more and more that you stare at, he said, if you were to stare at that for 31 minutes, your consciousness will have changed. And they would open you up to different realities and you would receive a download. Try that, someone. Anyone that wants to do that, try that.
Well, we were there staring at it for a long time, but it was ways away. It was on the horizon. Just to give people a reference, we were looking at the ocean, and so right at the horizon of the ocean, like it came out of the, I don't know whether it came out of the ocean, but just think about that it did, and that's where it was setting. And it just kind of hovered along the horizon, went back and forth, right, Tara?
Yeah. And at the beginning, it was very faint. And I was like, is that something? What is that? Because Owen wanted to be at the ocean and everybody else was up like much on the dry sand or whatever. And I just was like drawn to just stand there with Owen. We were just like in a daze, just staring at Orion. And then there's just started this very faint green light. And then it just started getting a little bit brighter, a little bit brighter. And finally, it was just a solid green. And then additionally, it traveled across the not even the shore,
Horizon.
out the horizon of the water. And then it actually split into a yellow and a green. And then we watched that for a while. And then I ran up to see like what the hell's going on by the rest of the people. And they gave me those psionics glasses. The night vision with like it's like a prismatic
Camera. It's a camera, video
camera.
camera.
And then it like went back together again. Like at the end, it was just so wild.
It was awesome. It was a great trip.
It was.
Well, that orb's impressive to say the least, for sure. I'm going to move over to Cindy and Jason. Jason said that there has been more activity in his house. Are you there, Cindy?
Yep, I'm here. I'm just lounging today, so off camera for that.
That's okay. He said your
Okay.
house has had a little bit more spiritual activity in the past week and a half.
Yeah, talk to me, girl, because I did like he's been saying prayers a lot,
Yeah.
and I actually did like a personal clearing to my best of my ability, and then a house clearing. Like he actually had I had taken snapshots of this book that I had a friend that gave me, um and I this back from, do you remember like months, like almost a year ago when he was having the attacks.
Yeah.
And so was a process. And anyway, I had this on my iPad and I went to the kitchen and he had it open to like a personal clearing. And I'm like, okay, I think you're trying to send me a message. So I did it. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. I feel a lot better, but he is still saying prayers.
Mhm.
I'm like, is this a loop? Is there something going on? Is there something? I don't know what to do. It's distressing, to say the
Yeah.
least. But, I'm trying to stay calm and on top of it.
Um, no, you have some little entities in your house. So and and if everybody else is okay and I can maybe push through everyone else's house too, uh, because he's just like, Melissa, can you do something now? And they're so simple, so I don't even want to wait. But he said we've had a lot more activity and they've been coming through. I haven't been able to hold them back the way that I used to, and it's really affecting the way that my body has been functioning, especially when it comes to
Yes.
bowels. And so therefore I've been really tight. I've been having a lot more cramps. I've been feeling a little bit more sick because of the fact that they're not letting me release and they're keeping me in this heightened state. I said, I'm sorry, Mom, for any of the behaviors that I have had or not listening, but I'm really having a hard time with my body. And I know that I need a little bit of extra help. There are two entities that have been following us both around. And that is the reason that you can't sleep or why you have been tripping or you feel like your legs have been tickling or your feet have been tickling, but he's showing below the knees down that maybe things have been like trying to catch you at your feet and trip you, but also they've been grabbing your legs or something. But he's talking about them like tickling your legs, and he says, I feel them all over my body. For you, it's just been working on your legs. So he wants to just do it. And I mean, these are a little small, they're just kind of annoyances more than anything, but they need to just get out of there.
How does it start in the first place? I mean, and how would I prevent this? I would love any help, girl. I mean, like I will take any of it because yeah, he has been doing a ton of verbal stims. I know something's up, but I don't know how to help. I don't know what to do. But then I don't know how to prevent it from continuing to happen unless maybe I just cannot, because I know they're so susceptible. I don't know. I love that you're smiling. I mean,
I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh, okay. Um, because I said, well, how did they come in? And like all the words that I hear out of my mouth, I'm like, would you even say that? But he's just kind of giggling, and then I'm like, do I say that out loud? What you just said? And so I was kind of laughing, but I'll just say the words, even if whatever he can get in trouble. But it was the words. He's like, someone pissed my mom off. That's what happened. Someone pissed my mom off, and she got in a bad mood, and they came and attacked her during her vulnerable time, and now she's been stuck enemy of her own mind and she hasn't let it go yet. And he says it go as in like it's just been this emotional stress, not necessarily the situation or the words, but you haven't let the energy of that go, and it's just been feeding on your anxiety and your angst.
I have
And
no idea what that would even mean. Like I have had nothing, like it's been very peaceful. So I don't even
like
know.
2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Not that I know of. No, I mean, like I've been really doing good personally. So
Funny.
yeah, I don't know that. And I assumed it was me. Like I'm not because I did have zero energy, headaches, nausea. I mean, like I felt like something was up with me for sure. But then these last few days have been feeling awesome. So it's like, I don't, I know I'm a part of it. I'm aware of it. So that makes sense to me what you're saying, but I don't remember like there's no personal
Yeah.
event that happened that I can recall at all.
Well, maybe it was so little and that's why the stress is still there, because you're just like, whatever, and walked away and it wasn't that
Yeah,
big.
maybe I
But
didn't
maybe
deal.
you were just, you know, and then that energy stuck. Either way, let's work on you. It'll take like 2 minutes. These guys are little, they're really awesome. Lizzie, I'm with you on that one. I have been going through my room by room by room. I mean, I have gone through every pin, every needle, everything that I can. Declutter and get rid of everything. All right. Brandon's helping too. Thank you, Brandon. I feel ya. He's like, there's going to be a lot of entities coming in this year, pushing out with everyone's emotions. Okay. Mason, can you push on Mason's right side rib? Just give him a little bit of a push, like right under that breast area. He's just like, I'm really kind of tight right there. There you go. There. It's like, you feel that, mom? It's in my ribs. He needs a good rib massage, he says. sorry, sorry, guys.
Melissa, thank you. And thank you for everyone else. But I mean, is that as easy as it is? Like, I get angry and I can conjure, like, I mean, I know emotions can turn into things. I get it. But I mean, like, because that just makes me a little bit almost paranoid about, like, I really have to check myself, and I'm so trying, but like, because he's so affected, and I
Yeah.
want peace for my son. And I just, is there anything like you can do is there anything he recommends, like, that I can put in the house, or, like scripture, music? I mean, I don't know what it is, like something I can put somewhere that can, like, help control the energy, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the things are the thing is, and it kind of goes back to like what Mason was saying earlier, is that I mean, all of them are kind of saying we all have entities around us at all points, and usually they're not an issue. It's just if it's the right time and the right moment, and you're just vulnerable in yourself, is when they can attach. The ones that you had, I mean, they were so simple and so easy. It was just kind of more annoyance, more than anything. I mean, checking yourself, staying in your prayers, staying in your divine is going to be the best case scenario. I can't say one specific thing to put into your house because I'm
Okay.
asking and I'm seeing like that might work for one one entity, but what about the 500 more? Don't worry and don't be fearful about anything. You've been very well. You've maintained very well. And he's reminding, like, this is an entity that you had. How long was the last one? A year ago? And that
Yeah.
was taken care of very nicely and very easily too. So they're not big. The entities that are coming through, they're not huge. They're not big. They're just, he says, they're annoying. They're annoying and they just bother us. But it's not something that's attacking. It's just
Okay.
dang
It was
annoying.
it was like just the fact you said that he wasn't able to get rid of it, and that's why I'm just like, what do? I don't want to have to bother you every time he starts, I start noticing a change in behavior or something. I wish there was, because I know it's a constant for him, and this is something I'm trying to learn about, the spiritual warfare side of things, and just to be able to understand and whatnot. But
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
mean,
Um, yep. Okay. He said I need to teach my energy lessons to people, and not only is telepathy important, but also teaching you guys how to do energy work, because if you parents could do the energy work, then you would be able to do that and just help them out every day, and you wouldn't need me. You'd be able to just do it on your own. He said energy work is going to be the best. Prayers, he says prayers always work. He keeps showing me the color green though, so I don't know what that's about. I don't know if he needs green, if he wants green around him, but he's like surrounding himself around green,
okay.
so I don't know what that is.
Mm-mm.
Love and compassion. That's really, that's what he said. He said at the end of it, at the end of the day, all you need to get rid of any entity is love and compassion. And that's for anyone and everyone listening.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I've been thinking about this, and I love that he just jumped in and took care of it for me, and so did you. So thank you so much.
Yeah. I hope it helps. All right. Chrissy, you were next.
Yeah, so that just reminded me of a question. So is it that us and our beyond verbal kids are more susceptible to these entities and things like that when, like, say, someone with a negative outlook or just negative energy in general are coming into their life? Like, for example, like Mason, his one nurse that takes care of him, he is in constant, almost agonizing pain every single day. He still comes out and takes care of him, and I admire him for it. But he's in constant pain and he's talking about it, and he has a very negative outlook sometimes. And I sometimes wonder if those kind of things affect like what gets brought into my household, and Mason, and any kind of entities that might attach to him, then also to Mason because of that.
So when you're thinking, when we're looking at the beyond verbal, we have to think about the fact that not only are they beyond verbal, but they're beyond their body. Most of them do not fit all the way inside their body. So they're always in the spiritual world. Now, the spiritual world doesn't just mean, ancestors and those who passed and happiness and angels. Spirit means a energy that has consciousness that does not have a body. And so when we're looking at them, although they have a body and they have a container, a lot of the time they're floating around outside of their body. And so they're susceptible to pick up a lot of different entities, especially because of that. Because if you think of like a circle that just, or think about my cup here. And let's say that I just put my finger on this straw here, right? And nothing can come in and nothing can come out. And that would be somebody who is functioning at a low vibrational human level. So they're not susceptible to a lot of things, even if they're very, very, very negative or in pain. If they don't believe in spirituality, they don't believe in a lot of just ghosts and entities and stuff, and they don't believe a lot of things. I mean, ignorance really does do a lot in the spirit world, because if you're not thinking about it, you're not around it, it's not even coming on you. There's a lot of people that are negative. There's a lot of people that are kind of, they complain a lot, they whine a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean that there are entities, because they are already negative. The point of entities, a lot of times, they can enter into somebody if they're mad, if they're sad, if they're whatever. And that's why they wait for that moment where somebody just gets upset, because then they can sneak into their body and go. But a lot of people aren't just open filters. A lot of people, if they're already negative, the entities are like, we don't want to be around them. They're not going to serve us, because they're not powering them up. They're not giving them more energy. They're just already where they're at. And so therefore they just kind of leave them. So they'll go to people that have more love in their hearts, that have more light. Now, mind you, a lot of these entities don't want to be entities. A lot of these entities want to be, of the light. They want to be of love. They want to be of grace, but something energetically didn't allow them to be that way. So they'll fall around people that are good people, but they have bad moments within their life. And that's where some of the entities will come in too. Now with the children, with your children that are here, imagine now their spirit is the essence that can come out. It just doesn't have a cap. So they don't have a cap. So things can come in and things can come out. For the most part, they hold their space within themselves, but the entities see that they have this system where somebody is coming in and out constantly, because they constantly see their spirit kind of hovering in and out of their bodies. So they know that spirit can get in there. So entities know that there's an open spot. They do a lot of times with beyond verbal try to get into their body, because they know that they're not there. And that's where we see a lot of aggressions. That's where we see a lot of spontaneous speaking, people urinating on the ground, doing something that is completely against them, because that entity did get in them. Well, that entity is in them. What they're doing is they're eating the light. So when we go and we talk about like Cindy, Cindy just might have had somebody say something that just made her upset for 2 seconds, and something she doesn't even remember. Maybe she was at the store and some mom said something to a son, and she was like, that was not okay. And it was a primal whatever. And so her spirit almost went to go check that mom. If her spirit went to go check that mom, or the spirit went to go hug the child because she was so upset and she saw that child needed love, maybe she left, and that's when an entity came in. But Cindy didn't leave her whole body, so she came back to her body. There's just a little bit of hang on that entity can do. So then we can get it easy, because it doesn't actually have much space in her body, because she's filling her body more. So there's a lot to that question to say. There are going to be more entities around the beyond verbal, because they're beyond their body. And there are entities that are going to want to get into their body, because they see them as open sources and places and open doors that they can get into. They're also going to be around the caretakers, because the caretakers are usually people that have more love, unconditional love. They have more light. They have more patience. They have more kindness. They have the properties that creator would want. And so entities want to eat that for themselves, so they can be closer to it, or eat that because they want to take that from you, and they work for the bad. But you're going to be more susceptible, just because you guys are, for the most part, you're good people. You're better people than some of the rest of those people in the world. So they're going to want to attack you, because if they attack you, then you can't take care of your loving children and the children that are here to take care of the rest of the world. And so therefore you're not able to take care. So now they don't have as much support. And if they don't have much support in this system, that means that they don't have as much support in the spiritual system either. And so therefore it is our duty to always want to check and stay in the present. And that's one thing that I really do when I'm on my telepathic line is I'm constantly checking myself, because I don't want people to come in to my orifice, my body, my aura, my essence, and nor do I want to be in anyone else's if I'm carrying other things. So it's always checking to make sure, am I safe? Are the people, if somebody decides to pop in right now, are they going to be okay? So I always live my life like people are always watching me, and that there's always somebody else in my brain hearing what I'm saying, seeing what I'm thinking. And it just helps me stay in check, because then it also makes sure that I'm okay for myself, but other people are okay with me too. So I know that was a lot, but just a
No, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
yeah. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but there's a lot of different variables that go with that. Specifically, and anyone out there, whether you have a beyond verbal or not, if you're somebody who is working, is of God, is of goodness, is of for the success of our world and harmonization and everything, you're going to be in that same boat. You just have entities all the time wanting to distract you. And that's why whenever you get on a really good feeling or good life path, or your career is good, your relationship are good, there's something that wants to come and distract and take you out of that and make you worry. The human brain used to, when we were born, wake up knowing that it was a symbiotic we woke up knowing we had a symbiotic relationship with all the things around us, and there wasn't a lot of worries. We just woke up when the sun woke up. We just made our food when the food, during the day. We rested at night. And now we have so many different systems. We have our television systems, we have radios, we have street lights, so many different things right now that are not allowing the body to rest or ourselves to be in a space where we're not feeling like we're in survival mode. Right now, everybody is pretty much in survival mode. And any time that you get that place of rest is when the entities are trying to come for you. And so that they're constantly going after us right now and constantly trying to keep us in the state of fear, in the state of going, and not ever resting and not finding calmness. So I don't know. There's a lot to that. Anybody have any questions or anything that they want to say as we come?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question about the classes that you wanted to teach. You wanted to teach telepathy, and now it sounds like you maybe going to be teaching how to work with energies. So if that happens, is there any specific or approximate time that you wanted to release that? Or you wanted to maybe have online class with people being present in it, or you just wanted to record it and then just leave it for people to grab and learn on their own?
Yep. So I've actually been working on that during my downtime, per se, but I have been working on the classes. So the classes are going to be video classes. I will be doing 6 in-person classes this year. I know I believe the first one is going to be in Utah. It's still between Utah and Texas. We'll see how that one goes, but I know there's going to be 6 in-persons. The rest of them are going to be $100. It's going to be an online class. I've been working on recording those. It's going to be an 8-week course. I want to make sure that I get everything right. You will also have worksheets and pamphlets and everything that will go with that. I'm hoping to release that by March 1st at the very, 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 very latest. If I could get it out sooner, I'm going to get it out sooner. But as of right now, I can promise by March 1st. So March 1st is going to be when that telepathic class is going to be online. And then March will also be the first inline class that we are going to hold. I'll be doing that class with Chris Fazio. He does a lot of electro telekinesis. and he works a lot with physical energy. We will be teaching a class, and I believe that Nikki will be there too. We'll be doing some of the mind sight. So we will put a class together. We will have different things: telekinesis, aerokinesis, electrokinesis, mind sight, and telepathy, as well as Patrick will be joining us with the heart brain. He's going to be doing something with a heart brain. He's going to be doing a heart brain class, but I don't know what else. But we're still all talking about that, and I think Zan might be a part of that too. But we will get that all together, and we'll have all the information out for March. But by March, all of the telepathic class should be available in person and also online. And the energetic class, I can get that together really fast because I've been teaching energy classes for a while, so I could get that into a video by March also. And get that going. And that would probably be more of a Zoom meeting kind of thing. I can get some of the videos out, but I think the Zoom meeting would be better so that people can ask questions, and then we can also do the practices and stuff together, because I want distance energy and in-person energy to be able to work. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And where are you going to post about this, on your personal page?
I'll post it on the Let's Be Telepathy.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. It's my goal to get all of the parents and the caregivers to doing telepathy, so that they don't, I mean, essentially, I would love it if none of you needed me. I would love to be needed, and I love that you all, but I would also very much love if all of you could just have, the telepathic communication on your own too, just because I feel that would be very successful for the evolution of humanity. So yeah. All right. Well, that being said, guys, we're ending our 2 hours here. Sorry about the little delay there. I'm going to get a different link up on our Let's Be Telepathy page, and I will put the new link just in where the schedule is. You probably won't even notice it's there, but it will be there, and I will take that other link off. I apologize for that start today. I'm glad so many of you were able to jump on and still make it. And I love you all. I wish you the best of love. Urta, are you coming, Urta? You're coming? Okay, I'm gonna see you in a few weeks. Yay, I'm so excited. This is gonna be amazing. Cool. Did we get the information to Brenda and Brandon? No.
Ooh, oh my gosh, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, we got to get that out to them.
Okay.
Brandon was like, we didn't hear anything after you said it, Melissa. So, awesome. Yeah, we're just having a few people get together here in August, and we'll have a few of them throughout the year too. So multiple people across the states and stuff will have the availabilities to reach out and connect and come together. And that's what life's about. I love you all, and I hope you have a great week and the rest of your weekend. Remember to check into yourself and check into your body. Ask your body what it wants to eat. Ask your body what it needs to feel happy and to feel safe, and make sure you're getting all the rest. I love you all. Peace be with you.
Bye.